Before we get into the video, I came over to Mom and Dad's. There's an open house we're about to go look at. And as you see, it's looking pretty good, but Mom said, I think we have a fungus. And this is textbook, what was I telling her? Brown patch, yeah. So if you're seeing, this is clearly, you see the patch right here and patch right here, but that's clearly brown patch because you've got the green in the middle and you can see the circle. And she said it seems to be spreading, but look, it is definitely, caught fire over here in his fescue, and you can see you got green in the middle and you got brown around it. That's for sure brown patch. Now, as I told you guys, he went heavy with propiconazole on this a couple years back, cured it up, went away. What it does, obviously fungicides stop the fungus where it's at. It doesn't make it green all of a sudden. It stops the fungus, kills it, the grass should get growing. Then as you cut, it comes back and will come back green. It's exactly what happened last time. But NC State said, put a little bit of nitrogen in your mix to help it to grow, to push it and promote it to grow. But I wanted to show you post Debbie with tropical storm and everything, this is what we expect. We had all that moisture and water, and that's what's happened in Dad's lawn. He's got fungus now, so we'll keep you posted. If I come back over, we'll show you if he treats it. I think he's still got propiconazole. We'll show you that just that alone can fix this and make it look better in several weeks, probably several mows. What's up, YouTube? Mr. Ferguson here. I had to shave every now and then, but I'm looking more like my pops. But anyways, hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to the video. You probably saw in the beginning of this video the fungus that he's dealing with there in his mix of Kentucky 31 tall fescued lawn there. He's battled that in his grass multiple years, but it's also worth pointing out my dad don't put fungicides down in his lawn preventatively, so he's done really well. But as you see, he's got a problem on his hands now, so we'll keep you posted on that. I keep debating back and forth on this Saturday as I record this if I want to run the dethatcher. The wife is out in a nearby town shopping and everything, and so I may meet her. I don't think I want to do this today, but we may go ahead and get the dethatcher up here and review it, go over it, and for anybody that may be looking at one or possibly wanting to buy one, or I may just do the front lawn today for the video and continue through the week and finish it off, off camera. But I'm torn. But let me show you our little project area over here. We raked some of the dead grass out to see. It's been over a week now. Did that start to fill in with crabgrass and weeds? I'll show you here in a second the result of that. Also, I saw this guy on the golf course this morning. I actually played well, shot an 80. That's pretty good for me on that course. But look at this guy. He, as I told many people, Hurricane Tropical Storm Debbie came through, flooded. Many of these holes were underwater. This guy was crawling across the fairway. He could have come from who knows where, but man, here's a picture and he looks like a dinosaur. I mean, that is the oldest looking turtle I've ever seen face to face up close at a golf course, so that was pretty cool. But anyways, let's get into lawn care. Let me turn the camera around, show you the lawn. I did mow it yesterday because I was going to play golf today. Let me tell you what I did there, and then let's look at our little area here on the left. So yesterday I mowed and I dropped the mower down to 3 inches. I'm slowly, I was debating even today to cut it down again just below 3 inches because we want to get those tines. We don't want it, the grass too tall, so the tines on the dethatcher can pull up this dead stuff like this right here. So I think what I'll do is I'll set up the tripod and I'll do the front lawn while I'm waiting on the girls to see what they're going to do about dinner plans. But these are the main areas we want to hit. The center of the lawn right here, the middle heart of my lawn, looks fabulous. I don't care. I'll still run it through, but I want to document this because you can come back and watch this after we perform this today, after we run this dethatcher on the front lawn, and we'll do, over equal to the bushes up. We'll do this front section and I'll finish the rest maybe this evening, maybe not. But let's go look at our area up here and talk. But I want you to notice with the stress blend, with mowing it, it looks healthy, green. It's not thirsty. Plenty of water in the soil for sure. It's looking picture perfect for this time of year. We will come back. We will see later this week, hopefully, if not the end of the week, does running this Earthway that I have, is it going to damage the healthy part of our turf? I remember the last time I used it, I felt like it did, but we've got to get this stuff off the ground. Again, we could hand rake sections. You do not have to have a dethatcher, but I do want to make sure we get this done, especially on the bank. As far as our little test over here, what are we seeing? Well, the good grass is the same. It looks better. This is what it should look like everywhere when we're done today. It should pull up most of the junk off the ground. I'm not seeing an increase in anything. I'm not seeing more crabgrass. Clearly, it's only been a week. It's not going to immediately begin to produce weeds. So not really a change. We have some of this stuff. I've got a lot of that on the bank. Whatever that, chickweed, I don't know. That's what comes to mind when I see that. But basically, we have some Bermuda over here. But long story short, no change. We did this over a week ago. The sun hits this multiple hours a day. Not a bunch of crabgrass or weeds coming in. This gets sun all day long. This may be a change, but again, the last time I did it, I was like, man, my grass took a hit. It took that really stressed out the lawn when I ran that dethatcher. I need to do this early. We're in mid-August. It's time for me to do it, get it done. And if we have some, this is already Bermuda and trash already out here, it's going to make it look a little better, but also if it's going to stress it, let it stress it, and then let it begin to recover. And then we may or may not run the aerator on it. So let me go get the equipment, go get the extension cord, and we will show you the equipment, and then we'll do this section. Obviously the middle section is not a big deal, and I'll tell you my strategy for running the dethatcher here in this front lawn. All right, so I have the wireless on now. I'll flip it over here in a second, but this is basically what a dethatcher is. It's a power rake. It is hooked up to power now. I'm not going to get in here and touch it. We flipped it over. Basically, the adjustment for the wheels is right here. All it does is lower or raise these. When we hit the power button, these are going to spin rapidly. You can get strings and things. You see grass is like tied up in here. I probably need to take the time, if I'm smart and doing everything proper for YouTube, to cut some of that grass out. But you see, some of this is from last time I used it, which is probably 2 years ago. But basically, these little tines are nothing but like springs in here, and they do bend. They are bendable, so you're not going to break them most of the time unless you go super low. But they're just going to scratch your ground. They're going to scratch the soil. And so we'll show you in a second, one pass here in a second. But when we see this dead stuff, obviously, when these things are spinning super fast, they're just going to grab that dirt and bring it to the surface. Now, let me set it back up right without chopping my hands off or anything crazy on camera. So it's called Earthwise, not Earthway. Here's the one. I've listed these. These will be in the description below if you're interested. All you do, it's very plastic and cheap, but you see it looks like a cell phone tower. This is as high as it will go. And then if you kind of pick it up a little bit and move this over, I don't know if I can do it. There's our lowest, and you see how it's super low to the ground now. So you can do this. Probably don't want to do that, especially with 3-inch tall grass. I'm probably going to keep it somewhere around the middle right here once I have 2 hands free. It is corded, as you can see. I take this safety latch off when I'm storing it in my shed. Fits up on that top shelf. There's a little safety button you hit right here. Once you press said safety button, now you squeeze the handle. And those things are booking it. You hear that? Those things are moving. So it is flying. So there is a little back basket. When you flip this up, it's like your mower. I think it's supposed to go a little bit higher, maybe busted or something. There we go. It's supposed to come up like this. So you can sit here and you can have a little bungee, and that's what I'll probably do. Put a little bungee cord to hold this open. It's going to fling it backwards, so on you, but you can have this kind of closed halfway with the bungee cord, and it'll hit this and fall, which is what I'm going to do. The basket they give you for this is so small, you're filling that thing up over and over and over again, depending on how much of this you're pulling up. So what we'll do is I'll set you on a tripod, put you right here. We're going to go over this, or we might do this little section right here, and you can just watch. And then you want to adjust fire. Okay, it's a little bit too high. It's going over. Let's lower it. It's a little bit too low. Let's go up a little bit higher. You want to adjust it. But that's all we're doing is running it just like my mower. Let's do this section on camera. slowly so you can just see normal. How am I going to operate this? Well, you're going to run your extension cord, you're going to get it hooked up, you're going to make sure you're not going to get unplugged and frustrated, and now we're just going to run it back and forth. If it's not really picking up anything, we may need to drop it down a little bit lower. So let's try this out, and I'll try to talk in the mic. That thing's pretty loud. Hopefully it'll pick up my voice. I'm going to put this somewhere around the middle. I'm going to start at from the lowest setting. I'm going to go up. Natalie remembers I got her and Sarah Jane out here one of the first few times I did this to hold the cord. We're going to go on level 1 before the highest. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And this thing may get loud, so I'll try not to talk while we do it, but let's run it straight down and run it straight back and see if it's pulling up anything. All right, so there we go, first run. So what do I think about that? Number one, it's scary sounding. It sounds like it's eating up your lawn. But you'll notice on the way down, you can kind of see, yes, it chopped up some of the good grass. It did not hit the ground. So that's why you're talking about some of this. This is healthy grass. It did bring up some thatch right here. In the end, it looks like I'm basically just going to be raking this bald spot, because when we run that through the regular healthy grass, it's just going to pull up some of this right here, and I don't think that necessarily needs to be done. I don't know if you guys can still see me in the shot out here in the healthy lawn. I think I'm going to be smart and not run it anywhere out here because it doesn't need it. It needs it right here. It needs it over here. And definitely it needs it on the bank. That's where it needs it first. So I'm going to lower it 1 level, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go down. I'm going to come back. I'll probably go down 1 more strip and come back 1 more time on a lower level. It is going, I hate to hurt the good grass, but we've got to get this dead stuff up so the seed hits the ground. So let's go down 1 more level. So this is going to be from the very highest. It's going to be on level 3, and chop it up, baby. This is what it is. So looking through this again, guys, you can see not a major difference. Let me move the tripod because it is kind of hot out here and the phone might cut off. Not a big difference. It did not go low enough, and this is why before you use something like this machine right here, you want to cut your grass lower than normal. This is at 3 inches. Based upon what I'm seeing right here, it's not really pulling any of this up. I want some of this pulled up. So what it looks like is I'm just going for this area. We've got a mix of, 70% fescue, 30% dead grass here. I'm going to be better off hand raking this, which I have, which is more like a leaf rake back here. But I'm going to be better off just taking this bad boy and just going like this because I'm just kind of hurting the good grass. Because if I go even lower, now I'm really hitting the roots of the good grass. I don't necessarily want to tear that up because it's good. I don't want to kill it or anything, but that's where you see where the stress part comes out, right? It's going to put stress on your good grass. Now, if your whole entire lawn looks like this, you just got to suck it up and do it and know that you're going to be overseeding soon. But you see, if I just take this rake in this one area, I'm mainly hitting the ground, the soil. That's what I care about the most. I don't care about the good grass and thinning out the good fescue. That's kind of what it's doing at this level. And if I was, and if I had more of this, I would just lower it down. But I think this is actually easier, for this one section. So on the bank over here, we're going to run it lower to where we're hitting ground. And any fescue that survives, great. If it doesn't, oh well. We've got to get this dead stuff up. Hopefully this is a faster way to do it. If not, we're going to be hand raking all this. So let's do a time lapse of this and let's see if it makes a difference. All right, so that probably went really fast on the time lapse, being that it went like that, but it's not a long process. And when you don't have a lot of fescue like this section, all it's doing is kind of loosening the matted dead stuff. You can see with that lower setting, it definitely tears up the little cords of the Bermuda, the rhizomes or whatever, the strands that are all stringy. It kind of tears all that mess up right here, but you're scratching that ground, you're loosening all the dead right here, and you're just kind of running it back and forth. As you see mainly right here by the road, you're just running it back and forth. It is going to, you know, run through some of that fescue, but it's going to loosen up all this dead stuff. And yes, you want to at least take a rake, or at least me. You could take your mower. I've lowered my mower, put the bag on that, and kind of run and suck it up. Now, areas you got more grass, I'm going to try not to go through there. I don't want to damage that too much. I don't feel it's needed. Maybe probably on the bank, I might run it. I'm going to raise it a level. I may run it at the same level right through this section one more time to kind of loosen this up, and then maybe go through the grass. It's going to pull out some of the loose, some of the dead, and that will lay on top of the grass. And what I've done in times past is just run my mower over top, but you will see your grass maybe stress out a little bit over this. And in some areas, like I mentioned, you don't have to have a dethatcher. You can grab a rake and just simply, you know, rake all this mess up. So but that's the goal, is we want to make sure, here's your goal: when I throw my seed down, it is going to hit ground, soil. We don't want it laying on a couple inches of dead grass. We don't want it to not hit soil. If it sets on top of the grass, that's no good. If it's sitting on top of a mat of dead grass, no good. We want it to hit the soil. That is the purpose. However you can achieve that the quickest, that's kind of what you want to do. So I'm going to work myself through this. I'm not going to do all this on camera, but I'll show you the results of all this as we go through the week. Like down here, I don't even know if I'm going to mess. I'll probably just take a rake to some of this down here. Whatever pulls up, we throw in the woods. That's kind of what I'm doing. So that's it from Central North Carolina. I'm going to keep plugging away with running this bad boy back and forth. I just wanted to show you so you have an idea. If you're buying one, it should look like this, even though hand raking's always going to look better, you know, because now we need to go back and collect some of this. So I'm still going to have to rake it, but it should be way easier than trying to really pull it up from the dirt. So that's it for my house. Let me know if you're doing this in yours or if you're not. And maybe a lot of people don't choose to do this. They don't feel it's necessary, and it may not be. It makes me feel better that I've done everything to make sure my seed is going to be successful. So God bless you. We will see you Wednesday, hopefully with another lawn care video from Central North Carolina. God bless you.